scans here to see if we see anything within this one. Not really seeing anything that would say that we do have a tornado within this storm, but we'll keep an eye on this one. But I am going to go back to our storm up here in southern Houston County, because this one has shown the possibility of having a tornado on the ground. And again, we will continue to keep an eye on this one. We came on for this storm even before it was warned, and this right here is what we will continue to watch. This is now just right to the east of South County Road 85, or South County 85 road right here. So this area where you see the yellows, that's what we will continue to keep an eye on, because it does look like we could possibly have a tornado on the ground within this storm. I have meteorologist Emily Acton here with me. She's been my eyes all morning watching this. So Emily, I'm going to turn it over to you so that you can give the latest update, what the National Weather Service is saying about these storms, because I know the one in Jackson County kind of popped up as we were going on air. So I'm going to turn things over to you now.
I'm good to stay on Max 2. Yeah, Amber, we caught this before it went on, and I'm glad that we did. And this has kind of been the name of the game all morning, all day yesterday. These tornadoes will touch down, pop back up, touchdown, pop back up. So this is something that we're going to have to keep an eye on again. So we saw the first scan initially, I want to say at 7:16, 7:18 roughly. So this is where we were seeing that debris being lofted. So that was about to cross over County Road 8, East County Road 8. And then we saw a little bit of that break there. But again, still under a tornado warning, still seeing that possibility for it to touch down again. And I'm keeping an eye on this over there. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the velocity. So this is where we're getting those inflow, outflow winds. That's when we're seeing some rotation, and I've been keeping an eye on this one for probably 20 or 30 minutes or so, but it's finally tightened up. And once I saw that confirmed debris signature, I knew that we needed to go, because there's probably been 15 of these this morning that I've kept an eye on, but that hasn't produced a tornado, hasn't produced any damage there. So I think that they're keeping this tornado warning. It's expected to go until 8 a.m. Probably going to be canceled before that, or at least just extended out of Houston County. But I'm going to take a step back. Sorry, Amber.
I'm actually going to let you take over Max 1.
Okay.
So I can check other areas across the area on Max 2. So if you don't mind swapping over to Max 1 while she does that, I'll come back on air here. Again, we're keeping an eye on 2 tornado warnings right now. We have one in southern Houston County, and that extends up into portions of Early County, Georgia. So if you're in Early County, Georgia, early heads up for you. We are tracking this possible tornado. We have another tornado warning. This is in Jackson County, Florida, and that extends up into portions of southern Houston County as well. So I know the sirens are going off across the entire county for Houston County, but it's just the southern part that we're keeping an eye on here. So I am going to zoom into this one in Houston County, because this is the one that we came on air for originally, and it has had a debris signature with it. So again, early heads up if you are in Early County, Georgia, that this will be crossing the state line into Georgia not too long from now. So I'm going to go back to our correlation coefficient here, and again, we're looking at, it is now 7:30 in the morning. So that means there's people out on the road trying to get to work this morning. If you're in southern Houston County, then I need you to be paying attention, because we're watching this area where you see the orange and the yellow. That is where we have that debris being lofted up in the air from this tornado. So make sure that you are paying attention here in southern Houston County. So backing it up, where you see those bright colors is where we have that debris being lofted, and it sticks around for the past couple of scans here. So again, we do see that we have a tornado on the ground. So checking out the reflectivity, and you see that little notch in the storm, that's where we have that tornado at. Anytime you see a notch on the front end of a storm, especially when we have a squall line moving through, that's where you have those possible tornadoes. That's what we're looking at right now. And again, I have meteorologist Emily Acton here with me. She's watching the National Weather Service. She's watching other storms. Been a big help this morning. So I'm going to turn it back over to her for a few minutes. I'm going to grab me some water, and yeah, I'll be back.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, Amber, I was out of breath. Just had to run and make sure that we were going on Facebook and everything, and I think everything is up and running. So thank you guys for bearing with us with that. So yeah, we are watching 2 tornado warned storms. First one that was issued, we actually caught before it was warned, and that's going to be crossing, this is in southern Houston County, going to be crossing the state line, moving into Early County, Georgia. So that's where we can expect it. That's already extended in there. It's looking like the path honestly will be a little bit further north of Jakin. Howard's Mill, probably going to be in that area if this sticks together, and that's kind of been the tricky part of the day. These tornadoes will touch down, go back up. I call it a hot potato. We can see those again start to touch down. Right now it is lofting debris in the air. So again, this is crossing State Road 95. It's going to end up crossing the state line, moving into Early County, Georgia. So that's going to be going towards Howard's Mill. I'll zoom in a little bit closer. Well, actually, I'm going to take a step back. So we have a couple of things that we're keeping an eye on. So I don't want to hone in on that one too much, but we also have this other tornado warned storm. And again, this is in
I have this one pulled up, Emily, so I can take it over for a minute if you want me to. This one is in Jackson County, Florida, and the good news is the rotation seems to have broadened out over the past couple of minutes here. So I am going to walk this back a couple of scans here so I can really show you. So we had that rotation while it was over Jacob City. You see those bright colors right there. That is that rotation within the storm. Watch what happens though as we move forward a couple of scans, and it's gone. But they probably will continue this tornado warning at least for a couple more minutes, because like Emily said, these storms this morning are popping up. They'll put down a possible tornado, they'll go back up, and that's just the name of the game today. That's how the atmosphere is working this morning. So we'll continue to keep an eye on this, but right now, for anyone who is watching in southern Houston County, it does look like you will be okay with this one. We'll continue to keep an eye though on it for the next couple of minutes. This will stay west of Malone, so if you're in Malone, you are in that tornado polygon, but it's going to stay off to your west, but stay in that safe place until this storm has passed. So we're going to take a look at the correlation coefficient here. And this is, again, what we check to see if there's any debris being lofted up in the air as the storm makes its way through. I'm not really seeing a whole lot from this area, so that is some good news. So this is the storm in Jackson, Florida. Now this is approaching the Houston County line in Alabama. So this is your early heads up for this storm. I know you have one moving through right now, but we're keeping an eye on this one as well. I know Emily's keeping an eye on the storm that is moving through Houston County right now and approaching Early County, Georgia. So Emily, I'm going to send it back over to you for the latest on that one.
Okay, Amber, I've been keeping an eye on this one. It's crossing the state line right now, so I'm going to zoom in super close, go ahead and call out some places there. So this is where we're seeing that rotation scaffold. You need to be in your safe place right now. Again, this rotation is on top of you at the moment. Take probably zoom a little bit back out. Howard's Mill, again, I called y'all out just a little while ago. Definitely need to be in your safe place. Going to be crossing over State Road 231. And again, this is in Early County, I keep saying Blakely. It is in Early County, Georgia. So this is officially moved out of Houston County. It's just past the state line. So Staffold, Howard's Mill, I think, Jakin, it's going to be a little bit above you, but you're within the polygon. You're still going to get super gusty winds. Go ahead and be in your safe place. Again, Jones Crossroads, if this sticks together, you might be there in the long term. But again, these things are coming up and down, and we can see, I'll go ahead and take a couple of steps back of where we were tracking that probably 10-15 minutes ago. So at 7:17 we saw it, went back up in the air, came back down. We're seeing some more debris signature at 7:29. Now it kind of looks like it's gone back up a little bit. So again, that's just going to be the name of the game. So if you are within that polygon, you need to be in your safe place right now. So I was just trying to call out some of those places, maybe even a little bit further out of the polygon, like Jones Crossroads, Howard's Mill, Staffold. I don't know how to say this name, Killarney. Sorry, can't pronounce it. I'll figure it out for next time. But you need to be in your safe place right now. You know where you live. Hopefully this is in the Early County, so this is in Georgia now that we are keeping an eye on. It kind of looks like the rotation has weakened just a little bit, or broadened, I should say. So it's looking a little bit better than it was. I'm going to take it back a couple of scans just to kind of confirm that. Yeah, right there is probably when it was the strongest. So we can see how close those reds and greens were, and so that's what we saw just a couple of minutes ago. But now we can see it's kind of starting to make a line, and that's what this whole system is that line. But whenever we get those little divots in there, that's whenever we can see those pockets of rotation. But right now it looks like it's definitely straightening itself out, so that's some good news. But like I've been showing y'all, 10 minutes ago there was something, 5 minutes ago there was nothing, then there was something again. So we're going to stick with this for a little while until we feel comfortable.
I am actually going to go back to that storm that is in Jackson, Florida, because like Emily was mentioning, these storms, they'll go down for a minute, they'll come back up. So this one has a little bit of rotation with it again, and this is going to be crossing over the Alabama state line into Houston County in just a few minutes. So if you're in Grangeburg and you are listening to us right now, all right, we have Jackson County in the corner here. This is near Jacob City. So this is where that storm started. This is where they popped the tornado warning, and it's very heavy rain right now, so not a good time to be out on the roadways. So if you are in Grangeburg, I want you to go to your safe place right now ahead of this storm. And I'm going to take a look at the correlation coefficient here, because just a few scans ago, it was showing that we possibly could have some debris within this storm being lofted up. So again, this will be crossing over the Alabama state line into Houston County in just a few minutes. So we will continue to keep an eye on this one. So I'm going to back it up here a couple of scans, and we had some rotation within it, and then it kind of broadened out, and now it looks like it's trying to get its act together again. So we will continue to keep an eye on this one. I'm watching this storm. You have Emily Acton that's watching the storm that's crossing into Early County, Georgia. So we got you covered here. I'm actually going to zoom out and show you that right now, for the rest of the area, things aren't looking too bad, because for places like the city of Dothan, you're good. Your severe weather threat is over for the day. Enterprise, you're clear. Geneva County's clear from this line as well. And Henry County, you're almost clear as well. It's just that leading edge of this line of showers and thunderstorms that's given us problems. And it behaved itself all morning long. We got to 7 o'clock and it was like, now it's time for me to start acting up, and that is definitely what it's doing. We have a couple of tornado warnings, just 2 of them in our area though. We have that one that is crossing over into Early County, Georgia. So let's go ahead, zoom into this one for you. And we'll go back over to velocity. This one's not looking impressive to me right now because it doesn't look like we have any rotation within this storm. I'll back it up for you though. Over the past couple of scans here, that's where we saw that rotation right on the Alabama-Georgia line, and then it just broadened out. So right now, I would say this storm is not a big threat to us, but I will take you back down to the one that is about to cross into Houston County in Alabama, because this is the one I've been watching in Jackson County, Florida, and it does look like it has some broad rotation within it, and this one's been cycling over the past couple of scans here, but we'll continue to watch this one as well. I know Emily's keeping up with the National Weather Service for me as I'm over here trying to keep up with these storms. So are they saying anything about the Early County storm? Because to me, that one does not look like it has any rotation anymore.
Yeah, Amber, if you were going to go back to that storm, I'm not concerned about it anymore at the moment. We'll still keep an eye on it. I bet they will cancel that tornado warning. I don't see them canceling it right now. Of course, they already clipped Houston County out of that specific tornado warned storm that moved into Early County. But as of right now, I'm not concerned about it at all. Our main focus needs to be, again, this storm that's approaching the Houston County line. Also, Amber, I'm kind of looking, let's see if I can switch it a little bit, just north and east of Cottondale. I'm keeping an eye on it. I'm not saying that this is anything. I'm just trying to be as transparent as possible. I'm keeping an eye on that one. Not a tornado warning. Might not be anything in the next scan, but just kind of keeping an eye on it. And we know how quickly these things have moved this morning. So yeah, I would say our main concern right now is just that one that's crossing the state line. And honestly, it looks to be broadening a little bit. But still has lots of lightning embedded in it, so that's never a good sign too. It still has a lot of energy with it. Also, we talked about earlier, we were glad that the line came through in the morning, kind of helped us not have so much of that instability, but now that the sun has risen, and I'm trying to look at a sky cam right now, I don't know what the sky looks like, but now that the sun is up, kind of a different ball game for us. So that's why these things kind of started to pop off quickly. That's why we're keeping an eye on everything. There we go. Okay, well, you really don't see the sun, but it's there, and so that we're getting a little bit of the heat from that. So that also goes into that instability. So I'm still going to be keeping an eye on this storm in Early County, Amber, but I would say my main concern right now is the one that's entering Houston County. But honestly, it's not super impressive at the moment. Granted, it is a tornado warned storm. We need to be in our safe place. We need to understand that. But as of right now, I'm not seeing anything that I am overly concerned about.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on that storm that is riding the Alabama-Florida line right now. So that's this storm. We still have a tornado warning with it, but right now it's looking more like some straight line winds within this storm. Now, I'm not saying that it couldn't drop a tornado at any time, because that's what these storms can do. They'll drop a tornado like that, it will do a little damage, it'll go back up, and then somewhere down the line, it'll drop another tornado. That's just how the atmosphere is set up today. So again, if you're in Grangeburg, this is in southern Houston County in Alabama. Be in your safe place right now as the storm moves through. This is the area that I'm keeping an eye on, because if we'll go back to our reflectivity here, that's where that little notch is at. And again, this is what we've been watching for all morning, is little notches within this line, because that's where you'll find the tornadoes if we get any. A lot of lightning and some very heavy rain. And again, with the next scan, it does look like that notch that I was showing you went away, and that's been the name of the game all morning. So we'll go back over to reflectivity here, but again, not seeing much within this storm, which is some good news. And now it seems to be moving more off to the east, and that means we have more of a straight line wind threat. It's those cells that start to move northeast are the ones that could have those possible tornadoes with them. So right now, I'm not too worried about this. We will go back over to the correlation coefficient here so I can make sure that we're not seeing anything, and I'm really not seeing any evidence that may possibly be a tornado or anything like that. So I'm going to zoom out here and we'll go ahead and check the storm in Early County one more time, but Emily's shaking her head no, that there's really nothing there. So yeah, I'm not really seeing anything in these storms. I know that you are under a tornado warning in southern Houston County, which means those sirens are going off. But I'm not seeing anything that would indicate that we have a tornado within this storm. So I think I'm going to allow us to go back to regular scheduled programming, so we're not covering up your TV programming. If we see anything else, we will break into programming once again, but for now, things are looking okay. We'll continue to watch it behind the scenes, and of course, we'll be back in a second's notice if we need to, but for now, I'm going to let it go back to regular scheduled programming.
This has been a forewarned weather alert.